Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. If you are new here, hi, I'm Rhoda. I was just sitting down to film my May monthly roundup, and this little guy showed up at my door, so I scrapped that plan and we're gonna dive into this adorable little palette that I just had to get my hands on. Here is a close-up of this gorgeous palette that just screams summer to me. We have these lighter shades up here, a little deeper row, and you can get much more deep with this bottom row right here. It looks like it's a top row because I have it flipped over, but we have two satin shades, and then we have four mattes. This one, this one, this one, and this one are mattes, and then these three shades are shimmers. I'm going to quickly swatch these for you. This is my first time. I just opened this package up, but I do assume that it's the same quality and same level of intensity that you would normally get from these Dior Backstage palettes. They are not very in your face. They are quite subdued and you get a very subtle look going on, but I don't mind that. I love this color story. I can't wait to dive into these peachier shades. But let's swatch first. In the first row, we have two satins. That's ivory, peach gold, and this matte called Warm Tan. In the second row, we have two shimmers. This one is called Tangerine. Second shimmer is Poppy Coral. Oh, I love that one. And the third is a matte called Burnt Orange. And finally, in the third row, we have one shimmer and two mattes. This is the shimmer called Warm Bronze. This is the matte called Redwood. And the final matte in dark brown. All of these swatched very nicely. I'm just going to go over that dark brown again just to, yeah, there we go. So there we go. Your 9-pan. It just looks so beautiful. All right, let's get a look on the eyes. So I'm grabbing my Refer number 27 brush and I'm going into this matte shade right here. It's called Warm Tan. There is a little bit of dustiness, but I don't usually experience fallout with my other Dior Backstage 9-pans. So we'll see if this one's any different. Get that on the eye as kind of a transition shade. This is quite pigmented and looking quite pretty. It's nice and warm, but it's not too warm at all. I'm going to go next door to this satin shade called Peach Gold with my Refer number 2 brush. And I just want to get this all over my lid. That has more of a shimmer than I expected because they're calling it a satin shade, because normally their satins don't have much sparkle at all, but this one certainly does. Did I get that right? Is it a satin? Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's a satin, so I don't know. But anyway, it's looking very pretty on the eye. And honestly, you could leave it here and you are done. But I want to use as many of the shadows as possible today. So what do I do next? Where do I want to go? Okay, I'm going to be adventurous and I'm going to go into this tangerine shade with my Refer number 13. It's a very thin and small blending brush, which I like to use for detailed work. So this is deepening out here and adding that coraliness, that tangerine effect to the eyes, but it's not overly orange. So I'm really liking how that looks. That is so pretty. What are we thinking? I'm loving it. I do want to dive into this Poppy Coral shade. I'm going to grab a little pencil brush from Refer. It's the 03, and I want to be precise with this one because it does seem quite bright and I don't know what I'm going to get. Like I mentioned, I have not played around with these, so I'm just going to start placing it not too high up, but closer to my lash line and see if we can add a little bit of that Poppy Coral shade just to add even more dimension to this look. It is quite bright, so I'm glad. I'm kind of keeping it contained, but I do like the effect that it has on the overall look. Just a little bit on the outer corner. Just a little. Pretty. Now I'm going to grab my reference number 29. I'm going to dip into this dark brown matte, and I'm going to run this very close to my lash line just to create a little bit of a liner effect. This is so tiny, you can be so precise with it. I love this brush. And I just stamp along the lash line just to give some more definition along the lashes. This matte brown shade is quite pigmented and it's going on very, very easily. And I'm having zero issues using this shadow as a liner. I'm just gonna flick out just a little bit, bring it back and make just a little wing. I'm not gonna say flicky doodle today. I just said it. Now I'm gonna grab my BK Beauty Nikki N17 brush, go back into that first matte that we used, just to run along my lower lash line. I'm noticing the teeniest amount of fallout from that dark brown shade, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind. Maybe I didn't tap off enough. Probably didn't. Now I'm gonna grab a clean reference number 03. I'm gonna dip into the Ivory Satin and brighten up that inner corner just a little bit. Get that on there and see. That's really, really pretty. It is much more impactful than normally those lighter inner corner shimmery shades in these palettes has been in the past. This one is quite impactful. And I love it. Let's do another look on this side. Why not? I want to use some more of this palette. I'm going to grab my Refer B03 brush, dip into this shimmer shade called Warm Bronze, and tap that off because we don't want any fallout. And I'm just going to get it all over the lid. I love this shade when I swatched it, and I wanted to see what it would be like all over the lid and what kind of effect we would get. So it is a shimmer, but it's not sparkly. It does leave a little shine behind, but like I said, it's quite subdued. Beautiful sheen, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love this as a one and done for sure. Okay, let's see what else. Where else can I go? I think I want to go back to this shade right here, Refer 02, and I want to place it on top of this just to add, almost give us a little bit of a almost halo eye with the center being a little bit brighter, than the rest. And they're layering beautifully and I'm just brightening up the inner part of my mobile lid. So pretty. And like I said, this one has a little bit more shine, a little bit more of a sparkle to it than the rest. Ooh, I love that. How easy was that? Okay, we could definitely leave it there, but I do want to try this shade right here, Rosewood. Refer number 26, dipping into Rosewood. This is a pencil brush, but it's much bigger, thicker for this job. Oh, I do believe I really like this shade too. How pretty. It's giving us some deepening of the outer corner, but it's not too dark. It's just perfect tone. I love it. Back into Warm Tan and get that lower lash line. Do I want a line? I don't know if I might want to just leave this one like that. Yeah, I feel like something's missing, especially in comparison to this eye. So I'm going to go back into the dark brown and make sure to tap off this time and get a line on this eye. I'll be right back. Okay, so here are the two looks without any mascara on. I will be popping some mascara on. I love them both, and they're not emphasizing any texture on my lids, which is a wonderful thing. Do they look similar? Maybe, because it's, the same type of color story, but this one is definitely a different look than this one. And you can definitely get some one and done easy or just two shadows and get a beautiful look in no time. All right, let me pop some mascara on, and I don't have any blush on today because I didn't know how the eye looks were going to end up, but I don't think I want to add any blush today. I think I want to leave it as is. I'll just add a lip and I will be right back. I added my mascara, and on the lips I use my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner in Hazelnut and the Westman Atelier lipstick in Lacquer, and I think it works perfectly. And one final look, I will cover each eye so it doesn't compete with the other. This is the final look on this eye using the more poppier reddish peachy tones. I love it. And then on this eye, we went a little bit darker. And I think it just looks, they both look beautiful. This one is looking up much brighter because I use the lighter colors, and also that ivory shade in the inner corner is just perfection. I love it. Although I was so very drawn to this color story, I feared that it possibly could be a little too red leaning, a little too peachy leaning, a little too poppy leaning. So, you know, when I saw it, yes, my eyes very much drawn to it, but I wasn't sure how it was going to translate on the eyes and my skin tone as well. However, I am pleasantly surprised to say absolutely love it. I love both looks. These shades are not as intense as they look in the pan. I love this center shade, that little pop that I put right in the corner here. I didn't use too much of it, but it does add something to the look, and I'm really loving it. Again, these shades could all be one and dones. I love this dark brown in here. I didn't use it as a shadow today, but I did use it as a liner, and it's so pigmented and maybe a little bit of fallout, but I think that was my fault because I forgot to tap off my brush. But they all blend beautifully together. All the colors work beautifully together. You cannot go wrong. Pigmentation there, blendability there, color story there. So I am loving this Dior Backstage 9 pan like I love all my other ones. You really can't go wrong with picking these up. They are easy to travel with. They are not overwhelming. They're a great staple to have in your makeup collection. I'm so glad I picked this up. It's making me so happy. These colors, these shades are making me so happy, and I really am loving the look that I put together, or the looks that I put together. Now let's see when I take my daughter to a birthday party later on if anyone notices that I have two different eyeshadow looks on my eyes. They probably will notice, but most likely they won't say anything. They'll just be like, what did she do? Again, just like with all of the Backstage 9 pans, the shimmers and the satins, they're not extremely impactful. Although I have to say, this one is giving me a lot more than any other shade in any one of these that I've had. It's my favorite one, I think, in this color story. But like I said, they all work so beautifully together, and you're not gonna get that crazy, impactful, shiny, sparkly eye, but we don't always want that, do we? And the other thing that I think I forgot to mention, I can't remember, but I'll say it again, is that you can go really light with this, and you can really go, you know, smoky and dark. So you could definitely, as much as this is screaming summer at me, you can definitely take this into the fall and winter months for sure. And those are my final thoughts on this beautiful little palette. I love it so much. Let me know if you're thinking about picking this one up. Like I said, you really can't go wrong picking these up. I hope you found that helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please do consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. That would be amazing. Hit that bell button so that you're notified every time I do post a video, and hitting that like button too really helps my channel out, and I would very much appreciate it. I will see you in my next video. I'm waiting for my Natasha Denona Golden palette to arrive, and I will definitely be doing a full review of that palette. I cannot wait. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.